When we're faced with the challenge of changing really ingrained ways of being, or taking a risk, or moving, or changing something big, oftentimes our brain can kind of confuse that as too risky or dangerous, and then we self-sabotage and we find excuses to stay as we are, even if the thing that we're staying in or the routine or habits that we're staying with are making us unhappy. Good morning. It is the last day of 2021. I figured we would hang out today. Starting the day off with some avocado toast. You know what? I'm just gonna eat this and then the hangout sesh will commence afterwards. It's 12 o'clock and I'm still in my robe. In my defense, my mom got me the coziest robe for Christmas. It's from Barefoot Dreams and I never want to take it off. It is so comfortable and cozy. And it has been so rainy and like cold here the last few days. I had actually planned on vlogging sooner this week, but it was just a rainy mess. And dark and gloomy, and I just had zero energy and zero motivation to do anything. So yeah, here we are on New Year's Eve starting this vlog. I am gonna get out of my robe eventually because I do have a workout that I planned tonight. Literally the only plans I have for today on New Year's Eve is a workout. Am I okay? Am I a loser? Or am I a winner? First of all, we're living in COVID times and it's not the same as it used to be right now, you know? And I just don't really want to get sick. I'm getting my booster shot next week. I also don't want to be part of the problem. So I feel like a big New Year's Eve party. First of all, I haven't been invited to one. But also, even if I was, I don't know if I really am vibing that this year. Then the other thing is like, I worked in nightlife for 6 years, doing bottle service in nightclubs. And New Year's Eve was one of the biggest, if not the biggest night of the year as far as people coming out and partying and spending money and what have you. And so I worked every New Year's Eve and every holiday for that matter for like 6 years straight. When I say work, I mean I would literally work until 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning. I wouldn't get home until 5 o'clock in the morning. And then the first of every year, I would wake up so tired, so exhausted, so hungover, whether I drank or not, because I just got such little sleep. Ever since I quit doing bottle service 4 years ago, I don't really care about going out on New Year's Eve. Maybe that'll change in the future, but this year, I don't really care. Anyway, so that's why I'm not doing anything crazy for New Year's Eve. But I do want to take some time today to journal and reflect on 2021. I did do a podcast episode talking about the little ritual that I'm going to be doing this year. I actually did do some journaling already, but I also just feel like doing it again. Speaking of doing things again, randomly decided last minute to reread The Mountain Is You. I want to read this, do a little bit of journaling, do a little bit of planning for 2022. I also want to look at apartments a little bit because I have been really feeling the urge and I don't want to keep waiting to decide what I want to do, and I think I'm just going to make a decision and go for it. The plan is look for apartments, do some 2021 self-reflection, which is basically going to consist of me answering and journaling on the questions that I shared in episode 75 of my podcast, which I will link below. Think on some 2022 goals and intentions, which I might do that a little later tonight, do a little meditation. I always love to get a fresh journal for the new year to start off with. And then lately I've been loving, like the last couple of years, letting the first page be my goals and intentions for the year. So I'm gonna leave that blank because I'm gonna do that a little bit later. And I'm gonna start by doing my 2021 self-reflection. Before I begin officially journaling, I just decided to read through my intentions, goals, and self-reflection journaling that I did this time last year. And this is why I love to do this. It's very interesting to reflect and see where I was at this time last year. And a lot of the things that I wanted to let go of, I continued to do this year. And this is one of those moments where you become aware that you're either staying in the same place because you're not motivated to change, or whether you're not prioritizing the things that you say that are important, or things just didn't go your way. It's like in this moment of awareness, you have the choice to either let it make you feel like shit and get down on yourself, or you can let it irk you in a positive, productive way to the point where you're like, wow, I did the same things that I said I didn't want to do for another year. I don't want to do this again. I want to change these things. I want to reprioritize things. I want to do more of this or whatever it is. And I am in that space right now where my initial thought was to like feel like crap and look at the list of things that I wanted to achieve or do or prioritize, and thought, wow, like, what did I do this year? What a waste. But the larger part of me and the wiser, more compassionate and more loving part of me is going to take this as an opportunity to let it motivate me to do better moving forward. Because I really don't want to get to the end of 2022 and be looking at this journal of what I wrote today, which is gonna be very similar to this journal of what I wrote last year, and think, oh no, I need to write the same things over again because I did not do them, or I did not prioritize certain things, or I stayed in the same space because I was scared, because that's a shitty feeling. You know, our brains are wired to keep us safe, and we crave the familiar, even if the things that we deem safe or familiar are not making us happy. When we're faced with the challenge of starting a new habit, or beginning a new routine, or changing really ingrained ways of being, or taking a risk, or moving, or changing something big, oftentimes our brain can kind of confuse that as too risky or dangerous, and then we self-sabotage and we find excuses to stay as we are, even if the thing that we're staying in or the routine or habits that we're staying with are making us unhappy. The work that it takes to change and actually transform your life and rewrite old narratives is a constant effort, and it's uncomfortable and it's confronting and it's scary, but you have to kind of feel the fear and do it anyway, and take risks and just go for it and try. You know, you have the option to either slink back and stay in what you're comfortable in, or take the leap and give yourself an opportunity to experience something new and take the risk. And even if it does turn out horribly, which it probably won't, but even if it does, it's okay. You can always make a new choice, pivot, and start fresh again. It's not the end of the world. What I am journaling on, and what I journaled on last year, I've definitely shared these self-reflection prompts before. It's like my little self-reflection ritual that I do at the end of every year. I'm gonna share the questions with you. What worked? What didn't work? Things I'd like to focus on. My biggest takeaways. What I'm most proud of. Habits I'm taking into 2022 with me. Habits I'm leaving behind. How do I want to feel in 2022? Again, coming back to the feelings, which is episode 75 of the Yoga Inspired Life podcast. Focus on the feelings for 2022. My vision for myself in 2022, and how can I make my vision my reality? So kind of brainstorming some different ways or strategies or routines or habits that will help make my vision my reality. Think inspired aligned action. Some actionable things that you can do to start to shift your reality in a way so that it aligns with that vision. And then I do like to write a list of goals or intentions that I'd like to achieve, accomplish, attract in the coming year. But something that I mentioned in episode 75 of the Yoga Inspired Life podcast is, yes, write out some goals, dream on some things that you'd like to make happen, but also don't attach yourself to it. Let it be practice and manifestation and just like feeling into some ideas, but let them just be that. The idea for me, at least with the intentions and goals, it's just kind of like a rough, tentative idea of things that I would like to do in the coming year. It's not like a hard and fast list of things that I must do or it's a terrible year. You know what I mean? Oh no. It's not even 2 o'clock and the rave has already begun. moving this to my room with my fan on. Well, that was not as relaxing as I had hoped. Oh my gosh, you know what? I'm just done. I'm just like so done being here. I'm taking steps to move and actually be done, but it's just like the most frustrating thing. I'm so over complaining about it. I'm so over talking about it. I'm just so over it. But it is also so frustrating to want to just like be quiet or relax or work or create and feel like I can't because I can't hear my own thoughts. It would be one thing if it was just like good music, but it's not. It's like this repetitive beat over and over and over and over and over again. And it's not like it's once in a while. It's not like it's only on holidays. Like I literally lived in apartments for more than half my life. I understand that there is gonna be noise. You're gonna hear people. I'm not asking for like complete perfect silence, but I'm just like, it's actually just driving me crazy. It is just driving me crazy. Thank heavens I booked a workout for right now so I can go work out, move my body, relieve some stress, get some like frustration and pent up energy out, and hopefully by the time I get home it will be quiet, and if it's not, then we'll just hang out in my room. But I'm not going to let this get to me. It is very, very hard, but I cannot let it get to me. That is all.
Single, double. Treadmill, take it up 1 point. Oh!
Truly so glad that I went to that workout. I feel so much better, and my Christmas wish was granted. He's gone. He's quiet. And my refrigerator is not buzzing. Things are off to a good start. And an Amazon delivery came while I was gone. And how cute are these? Travel vitamin cases. These are so cute. I will link them below. They are very good quality too. You ready to party? And by party, I mean shower, do a face mask, make some dinner, get in my jammies, and read my book. Dinner, some vegan ravioli. I know I made that last week, but YOLO. Hey, Peony. Thank you. Happy New Year! Yes, I am back in my robe. I did go to work out this morning, and then I decided to come home and order Alfred coffee. I got a little veggie bagel and a matcha latte and some fresh squeezed orange juice. I normally don't eat breakfast, although yesterday I did have avocado toast, but I'm usually not super hungry in the morning, but yesterday and today I was kind of hungry this morning and I ran out of bread, so I was like, let's just treat ourselves to breakfast. I do love me some carbs. I was definitely asleep before midnight last night. Did a couple face masks, was watching a show, and then fell asleep on the couch. I was so tired. But today is January 1st, 2022. I really just feel like relaxing. Journaling and maybe watching a movie and just resting. Say bye-bye to my coffee table. I just sold it and they're coming to pick it up. Actually, that was kismet. They were such a nice couple. I told them, you know, I'm moving and, oh, where are you moving to? I said, well, you know, kind of thinking possibly New York, maybe LA. And they're like, oh my gosh, we lived in New York for like almost 20 years and we love it there. We were just talking about New York, how much they loved it. I just feel like that was a sign. I'm gonna book a flight and go. I'm gonna go back and look at apartments. What am I doing? Why not? Take the leap and do something different. I feel like that was a sign. Well, this day just took a turn. I just literally booked a flight to New York and I leave in 10 days. It's now or never. I gotta go and figure out if I wanna live there. I need to look at apartments. I need to get this ball rolling because I cannot spend another year playing small. It's time for me to practice what I preach, take the leap, trust my intuition, and trust that the universe has my back. And that's what I'm gonna do. But for right now, I'm gonna journal out my goals for the year since I fell asleep early last night and look at apartments and come up with a plan for my New York trip. Just gonna warm up some leftover veggie soup that I made earlier in the week. And I made some jasmine rice to add into it once the soup is warmed up. It is as though everything is just flowing. I just got an email that somebody wants to buy my nightstands, which is perfect. I'm gonna clean them out and get them ready because they're gonna come pick them up tomorrow morning. I'm not selling everything. A couple of weeks ago, I just decided, even though I wasn't sure, and I'm still not totally sure, where I'm moving to or when I'm moving, I just wanted to start preparing. I think I mentioned this in a vlog actually, that I'm just gonna sell the furniture that I wanna sell and clean out my closets and lighten my load and prepare myself to move for when the time comes. And just start to kind of embody the energy of moving and act as if. And things are starting to flow. I'm gonna apartment hunt in LA this week, officially going to New York in 10 days to look at apartments. One of my coffee tables sold, my nightstands are gonna sell. There's only a few more pieces of furniture that I need to sell. I feel like things are finally moving, which feels so good. I actually had to hide out in my bedroom after my lunch because the rave began again. But soon there will be no more rave. We won't have to deal with it anymore. I can't wait. Bye-bye. Good job. I actually have an extra little table that I usually use to podcast with. So I'm gonna use this for my nightstand right now. And then once I move, I will order new furniture and stuff. But I just don't wanna order furniture or anything until I figure out where I'm going and how I wanna decorate, blah, blah, blah. Plus I feel like the less I have to take with me, the easier my move will be. I literally slept for 9 hours last night. I must have really needed that sleep. Mom,
Yeah.
I just pulled an oracle card and I just said, you know, what am I being called to pay attention to? Like, what's my focus right now? The card says, where are you being called to journey to? The Celtic word imrama means a journey of the soul, a voyage on which we don't know where we are going, but our soul knows the way. If you pulled this card, you are either being called on a soul journey or are already on one. It could be to a physical, ancient place or metaphoric. When we journey to places that our soul remembers, a shift takes place, both within us and to the planet as well. You are being called to journey to a place that is sacred to your soul. Perhaps it is to journey to the world's sacred sites, or perhaps you're being called to cross the country. climb a mountain, lie on the desert floor, or drink from an ancient well. There are places to see and old friends to meet. I see spontaneous pilgrimages in your future. Follow the invisible soul trail and be willing to explore. Your soul is ready to journey deep.
Ever since you were tiny, this is how you've been, you know? This is how it's happened for you.
I mean, out of 44 cards,
You're so intuitive, girl.
to pick that card, it's amazing. And like when you were here over Thanksgiving, I think we either pulled a card or we had a discussion about like asking for signs, and just like the people yesterday buying my table and pulling this card, and I'm seeing it. The human part of me that can't comprehend the expansiveness of the universe, like, isn't fully on board yet. Like, there's fear there. There is like, can't there be an easier way? Like, you know, like I'm kind of trying to think of like, is this really the move? But it's like, I cannot ignore this deeper, strong soul feeling that this is what I'm supposed to do. How spot on was that card? Wow, yet again, another sign from the universe. This is why I love working with oracle cards, because once you start to really work with your deck and infuse your energy into it, it's just such an amazing practice to help you tap into your intuition and gain clarity around situations that you are seeking direction on. Anyways, it is Sunday, and that means it is the farmer's market day, which I'm very excited about. I don't necessarily need anything, but I really, really, really want to get my favorite habanero salsa. My salsa guy was not at the farmer's market. The flower people were not at the farmer's market. There was actually a lot of people not there today. I wonder if it's because they're considering it a holiday weekend. Sad. I was really excited about that salsa. Oh man, it was a very uneventful farmer's market trip. I feel like all the little vendors that I wanted to go to were not there. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll just leave. It was nice to walk outside though. I'm gonna go home, get myself prepped and ready for the week ahead. But thank you for hanging out with me. Happy freaking New Year. I hope that your 2022 is off to an incredible start. I am grateful for you. I'm excited for what's to come. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this. I will see you next Sunday. Don't be late, don't miss it. We've got all the things to talk about and do. We got an apartment hunt. We have to pack for New York. We got to get all of our little ducks in a row. It's gonna be fun, and I need you there with me. Okay, so I'll see you next Sunday. Bye.